I ain't putting no feet on no chairs.
That's my all right. So, okay. So, we've been talking about linear, which means my points have to create a, what's my picture look like? We're creating what? With linears. Line. It's a line, okay? It has to be a straight line, where as I draw my line, my dots are connected, okay? So this is going to be a little bit broader. So it's not that they're going to be in a straight line. They're going to be working in the same direction. So a positive correlation is when X increases.
Push, use your muscles.
Okay. Guys, enough. Listen, that door sticks. It sucks. Okay. So, in a positive correlation, as X is increasing, so if X is increasing, it's going what direction?
Up.
X is increasing. To the
Horizontal.
to the right. Remember, stop. Okay. So when X increases, we're moving to the right. Remember, your X-axis goes left or right. So if X is increasing, I'm moving to the right. If Y is increasing, I'm moving. Y. Okay. So anytime I have a positive correlation, my dots are going to the right and they're going up. Okay. So this is kind of quote unquote a positive slope. But it's not going to be the same slope. It's just a correlation. It's just a generalization. Okay. So if positive correlation is a positive slope, negative correlation is going to be a negative slope. So this time, when X increases, so as I'm going to the right, my Y value is now going to decrease or go down. No, we are no longer going to the bathroom when I'm taking notes because we're making a really bad habit of this. Yesterday you came back and you were like, I need this because you weren't here when we did it. So no more while I'm taking notes. Okay. Okay, so positive correlations going up to the right, negative correlations going down to the right. What do you think we're going to have if we have no correlation?
Down. Or maybe one goes left, the other goes right.
Okay, so it's kind of a mixture of everywhere. Okay, so there is no positive or negative pattern. It's kind of just sporadic dots all over the graph. Okay, so this is, let's see if I can spell today. Sporadic dots all over the graph. There, better? So, in other words, no pattern. Okay? It's just kind of scatterbrained. no pattern. Okay. All right. So what I need you to do right now is along those dotted lines, I need you to cut. Okay. So make yourselves 3 flaps. 3 flaps.
Oh my God. I think my teacher had to fail.
So we're positive, positive, negative, negative, and none. Okay, guys, cutting does not require you to talk. I promise. Okay, once you have those flaps cut, I need you to cut all of these individual things on this white half sheet that you have. You have 5 graphs and you have a bunch of scenarios. We got to figure out where we're putting these. Okay, so we need to cut all these out. Here you go. Not yet.
What did you say, boy? These?
Yes. Yeah, fold it in half.
Oh, you can't waste that one.
You know,
Oh, you can't waste that one.
I had a lift. Ow, that was my God.
Yeah, it do me the same thing. That's why I don't want to fight you.
You got long arms. What?
I don't want to. That don't hurt me. I used to have to. Alright. Here you go.
Come on.
Okay, so cut out your 5 individual graphs and cut out all of your individual scenarios. We've got to see if we can figure out where do they go.
Individually?
What
Yes.
about scenarios? You gonna die?
Yes.
Oh, lit.
Yes. You know what it is, man.
And I did not pass out the trash can.
Okay.
You and you.
She be rocking your work. Okay. Who said we was making it? I told him yourself. See, look at you. That's your girl. That's what I have to say. You back. What? Are you a student of such things? I go to church every Saturday.
Oh.
I sleep on Sundays. I go to my grandma's house to eat.
That sounds good. What's grandma cooking?
What's
I'm coming.
What's up, huh?
I said, I'm coming. What's grandma cooking?
Wait.
Listen, there ain't nothing like grandma's home cooked meals. What's grandma cooking?
I
I'm
don't know
coming.
what she cooks on Sundays. Sometimes it be like some casserole type stuff.
I miss my grandma's cooking. I'm coming.
I mean,
What'd you do if I just show up to your grandma's house on Sunday for dinner?
let's eat.
You'd be like, come on, Amos Smith, let's eat.
All right. Wait, do we throw this away?
No, you need the words too.
Go eat. I ain't gonna waste time. We gotta cut out indoor.
Yes. It's a pain in the tush. Don't cut your finger. These are child safety scissors. Goodness. I even get child safety scissors and he's still trying to chop off fingers.
Stop.
Okay. I did pass out the trash cans, so please make sure that your recycling goes into the trash can, please. I don't want to be picking up paper all over the floor.
Oh, we cut out the word. We gotta cut out the word.
For the last time, yes. If you open up your ears.
Are you taking drugs and fast food forever?
Today this week.
I don't know what nobody said. I was never going
I hate when I'm at a restaurant, people call me, like, that make me so mad. I just want to throw food at them. And they don't go to the bathroom. Cause, like, the stuff that I'm not eating, like, oh, they be making me mad. I just can't. It makes me feel sick. Messing my whole appetite.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
When you at a restaurant and somebody start coughing,
Oh.
that's nasty, man.
Why you're supposed to cover your mouth and cough?
Right, but they don't be covering their mouth. They keep going, but they use their hand. That's
Oh.
nasty. Yours.
No, you gotta do the
Right.
into your like
And your shirt, like,
something.
all right, they be like, I'll say something.
So when did you ever become so bougie?
I'm not bougie at all.
You don't know what I mean.
I'm not bougie.
Straight up.
I'm not bougie. I just don't like that because that bothers me. It is. Yes,
Okay. Even if you're done, if you're not done cutting out, we're gonna start with the graphs. Okay, so again, we don't need voices to cut. Okay.
I was telling her.
You know, they said.
Okay, so we need to start with these graphs. You need to tell me where we're putting them. Is it a positive correlation? Is it a negative correlation? Or is it nothing? Okay, so if we look at this graph, I guess I'm gonna have to load this up here. Okay, take a look at this graph. What is this? This is a negative correlation. Okay, you can see that it's not a straight line, but they're all pretty much going downhill as I go to the right. You're fine. This one.
You said no child left behind. I said they said the same thing about soldiers. Some people got their legs pulled, so they had to call for themselves.
Okay, what would you consider this one? This one's a no correlation. Okay, they're kind of just sporadically all over the place. Okay, so that one should go under none. Why are you confused? On the inside. So I'm putting them on the inside like this.
But mom doesn't say none.
I wrote it in there so I knew which one was which. Because your top's positive, your middle's negative, your bottom's none.
Oh my god.
You will-
It
It doesn't matter either side. Okay.
What was that other one?
So this is what we have so far. Okay. We've placed these two graphs.
Come back. But this is why I hate chopping up and cutting
I
up.
realized Simon out here.
I hate cutting up small stuff.
Where's she at?
I can't never keep up.
Huh, where's
What's that?
She always gets in
Tardies.
trouble every day.
It's tardies. Should be all right.
How many days she got in there?
Somebody tried to skip a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Went out the gate.
So,
I was all in there. I'm like,
Nope.
right now, we should have these two on. Okay? Where does this one go?
I'm positive.
This one's a positive correlation. Where do you think I'm placing this one?
Negative.
This one's negative. It's not quite as prominent, but this one is still negative.
Wait a minute.
Wait, how the?
ain't no.
How is
clue.
what?
Miss Smith, we
I
have.
swear to God.
At all.
We don't have
And
no.
none of us.
I'm done with these scissors. I'm done.
I know.
I look like you
I'm gonna use
are.
my own
We
personal
have
scissors
one here.
that I
I
stole
don't
from
think
my
it's
mom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You know what?
Where does this one go?
Oh, I do mine in the second.
Positive.
This one, while it's not a straight shot positive, it is still a positive correlation.
Wait.
Give me no clue. Oh,
Better have mine. Better have mine.
I brought her sleeve.
Yes, you can get more because you brought that.
I know. Thank you.
I don't know what happened to the one that you brought, but
Yo.
I'll find it eventually.
Can I see what the home sticks? That's okay, because I got that. And I got
But you brought in 3, so you
this. So both of them.
okay.
Don't go crazy with my silver one.
Can I go next? I love you.
Please. No.
I read that one.
Okay, there should be 5 graphs. You should have 2 in the positive. So the one on the left in the positive is a strong positive correlation. The one on the right is considered a weak positive correlation. Okay, so it's still going in the positive direction, but it's not quite as straight as the one on the left. Same thing with your negatives. You've got a strong negative and you have a weak negative. Okay. Let's talk about the scenarios. The first one that I have, it says hours of studying and your grades. Okay. It says hours of studying and your grades. Do you think that should be a positive, a negative, or no correlation? Negative. It should be a positive. If you study more, your grades should go up. That is a positive correlation. Yes. I can't hear anything because I have a rude class that doesn't ever know how to keep their mouths shut. You have a benchmark on Monday.
How much questions?
We're halfway through the quarter.
How much questions?
When you can learn to speak, it's not how much questions. I will,
Miss
what was that?
Miss
How many questions?
What time is it?
I wasn't born from America, so I don't know.
Okay, Andrew?
Miss
I was-
what time is it?
4:30.
Miss Smith, I thought, oh, so I can't come up here after the session? Yes. Come on, after the session.
I wasn't born. I was born in the third world country.
I was born in Africa.
I was born in Chicago.
Me and my brothers used to run in cheese nights.
With the semester, there's a semester in.
And I'm not.
Okay, the next one that I just happened to randomly pull out of my hand. Not white. Weight on a skateboard and the speed that the skateboard travels. You think that would increase? If you put more weight on the skateboard, it's gonna go faster.
No.
No.
Decrease.
Well, one, I brought
Yeah,
like two
I might just
six.
break
He's
his
around
skateboard.
the He's like, well, some
Yeah, but it's all the rides.
I mean,
Okay, so there's supervisors.
no, I think it would go faster if it was lighter.
So,
So negative.
It go fast, like,
Okay. The next one that I randomly picked up. Hours in the mail. Hours in the mail and the amount of money spent.
The mall.
Oh, my bad. They look like mail. Listen, I told you I'm blind. Hours in the mall and the amount of money you spend.
I can't find that first one.
Oh my God.
so I'll.
Okay, let's talk about this from a woman's perspective. If I spend more amount, I'm going to spend. I will tell you this.
Miss Beth, can you send Jorge to the office, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Jorge, you need your homework.
Are we gonna get homework? No, no, on Friday. I said no, Monday.
It's super easy. You'll be able to finish before
Oh,
you walk out the door.
What, today?
Miss,
Yes.
isn't that what
Monday, what's our benchmark, man?
Right, but the more hours I spend in the mall, the more money I spend. So as I increase my hours, I increase the money I spend. So it's a positive correlation.
So Monday.
If I go to the mall, I'm gonna see
Guys, we still have a whole nother concept to talk about that your homework's on. Okay. Let me finish this up first and get everybody started on the next thing. Number of pets. Enough. You want to do this on your own and I'll just grade it?
No.
Okay, so zip your lips. Number of pets a person has and the number of books that a person reads. That's no correlation. It doesn't matter how many pets you have and how many books you read. That's not going to affect one or the other.
What does that say?
Okay, the number of pets you have and the number of books you read should be a no correlation.
I don't have the amount of the skateboard. Oh, wait. Oh, that says weight.
Weight of the skateboard.
I don't like the amount.
What do you think about income and education?
No correlation.
Yeah.
Doesn't do that.
Do you think your income's going to increase the more education you have behind you?
Oh, it's not.
Technically speaking,
Just money.
What was the numbers in your house?
technically speaking, but in the moment, no.
What was the numbers scenarios?
Okay, so technically I can see this under no correlation. Because again,
Oh.
my husband dropped out of high school, he got his GED, and he makes just as much as I do.
How much?
I went and I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree,
Like,
I'll become a dropout too.
and we make about the same amount. So, you can kind of fight both battles with this as a positive correlation and a no correlation. So I will leave that one up to you.
I know what to do. I'll put it in positive. 'Cause they probably
I put positive.
on the test, they probably-
More than likely, if you see this on a test, it's going to be a positive correlation. The more you educate yourself, the more your income is, because the more things you can do with it. Okay. But again, I'm 100% for trades too. I mean, trade school, plumbers make more than I do, electricians make more than I do, and they have less schooling than I do.
I'll be plumber.
Okay. What about the distance traveled and the amount of gas in the car? As my distance traveled, what's happening to my gas? It's going down, so it's a negative correlation. Okay. What about the temperature and the number of people wearing jackets?
It's none.
509.
Okay.
as the temperature increases, what's happening to the amount of people wearing jackets?
Oh,
It's decreasing.
what?
As,
It doesn't say temperature.
what do you mean it doesn't say temperature?
I said increasing. It says temperature and people wearing jackets.
Yes. You're trying to figure out is that correlation is as X increases, what happens to Y. So as your first thing increases, what's happening to your second thing? So your first item is always your X, and it's always going to increase. So as your temperature is increasing, the amount of jackets you're going to wear is going to decrease. No one's going to wear jackets in 98-degree weather. Oh, y'all got problems.
I will.
Y'all, that's because you freeze.
I don't wear shirts.
You just wear jackets?
Right. Because in the morning, I don't be used to in the morning when I wake up, take a shower, I be real cold. I was looking for clothes.
And you'll just throw on a jacket to warm up.
Right.
What about the number of days absent from school and grades? So the more days that you miss, what's going to happen to your grades? They're going to go down.
Oh.
That should be a negative.
Oh.
What about test scores and your shoe size? That should be a no correlation. One has nothing to do with the other. And the last one I have is how tall a person is and how fast they drive.
Yeah.
I can barely even see
That's
that.
none.
That should be none.
What if they're really short? and they can't
Short
see each
people
other?
can drive just as fast as tall people.
Y'all stupid midget.
I seen this midget get slapped.
Yeah, there should be 4 on here.
So we should have 3 under positive, 4 under negative, and 3 under none.
Didn't you say income can go either one?
Yes, income could
Whoa,
technically
what's the
go under either or, so you would have 2 positive and 4 none then.
What's the second one in the second?
So positive, I have hours of studying and grades, hours in the mall and amount of money spent, and income and education. Your negative was your weight on the skateboard and the speed that it travels, distance traveled and the amount of gas in the car, the temperature and the number of people wearing jackets, and the number of days absent from school and grades. And then the last one, I have number of pets and the number of books, test scores and shoe size, and how tall and how fast.
It don't have to be. Like
They don't have to be in that exact order, but they need to be in that spot. Man.
Let me help you. I'm still gonna help. Oh, is it trash?
I didn't glue it down. I wasn't trying to waste time, so I didn't glue anything down. Thank you, my darling. I appreciate that. You can run to the bathroom real quick.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, you said you were
Thanks.
I want that white blue. Don't be digging, boy. Digging ass. Digging.
All right.
What was it not?
What is it?
Okay. The next pieces you need are these 2 half sheets. There should be one that says regression on a TI-84. And there should be one that has a chart with years and federal minimum wage and questions.
You sure did give us a lot of paper.
I told you.
You don't play a game, would you?
No. There will be no games to be played.
No games to be played.
No games to be played today.
Okay, what two papers?
So they're two hash sheets.
Are they right here?
Okay, so this one. This one that you have is just a reference sheet on how to do this. Okay, this is just a reference sheet on how to use your calculator. Okay. So you're just gonna glue this in where I tell you to. At the end, I will tell you how to glue this all in, so we're gluing everything in at once. Make it a little bit easier. So, okay. So this is just a reference sheet. You don't need it for anything other than to, if I need instructions again, this is where I go. Okay. But this is gonna be the one that we are going to actually use this instruction sheet to do.
Wait, what are we doing?
Okay. We're not gluing in anything until the end. Yes, ma'am. You only have one of those? Like one for the whole table? 'Cause I only have one more over here, so there's gotta be another one somewhere. Okay. Okay, your calculator is going to be your best friend.
No, it's not. Sorry, I already got one.
Guys, again, what we don't get over, you're gonna have to figure out on your own, and that's what your homework's on tonight. So I don't know what to tell you because I have to start and stop in this classroom, and I'm telling you, I'm over it. I don't have time for it. We will never get through the material that you need to pass the COC if we have to continue to do this every day. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my calculator, but you're gonna be using the numbers from this. Okay, so let me get to my calculator here.
So we're not using our calculator?
Yes, you're gonna use yours. I'm gonna put mine up here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so everybody needs to hit the word stat on their calculator. Stat.
Oh, that's
Okay, it's underneath delete, which is underneath zoom. It's kind of in the middle at the top. STAT, hit stat. Okay, you want to edit. So you want number 1, and this page should show up. Okay.
We supposed to glue this in?
Not yet. You just go to stat. So right now we're stat. Edit. Did you? Good.
No.
Daniel said you did this last year, so this should be a quick refresher then. Okay. List 1 is going to be all the years from this table. So, list 1, you're entering in 1955, 1956, 1961.
Edit or calculate?
Enter.
1963, 1967, 1968,
What?
1974, 1975.
Confusing me so funny.
Okay. Boy, get the hood.
My fault.
It always manages to wiggle its way back up there. Okay.
What?
Okay, so right now, all we're doing is plugging in the years that were listed down the left-hand side of your chart. 81. You're getting a headache. Am I giving you a headache? Sweet. That just means I'm doing my job.
Oh.
Once you're done putting all of your years in for list 1, you will go over to list 2 and you're putting in your prices for federal minimum wage. Take a look at that.
You just did it to 19.
That's a new.
I did it the whole way to 1997.
Oh, okay.
It's longer than that, so they're way down there. Think about it. In 1955, minimum wage was 75 cents an hour. That's chump change nowadays.
Oh, I did it all the way down. I didn't get it.
Oh my God.
You're not stopping. You're going the whole way down to 1997. It's just when you go back up to list 2, you've listed too many years, so you can't see the bottom part.
What, Miss Smith, I can't get it open.
Use the right arrow.
Good.
I mean,
I am. It's not moving.
let's go.
Oh, my.
I feel like at least like right here, so the side of my face. I'm taking it down.
Let me put that. And then out.
I said 1.4. Let me give you 1.4.
Yeah. They shorthand it if they don't need it. 1.60, $2.
Alright, that's it.
Whoops.
Free girl.
Okay.
I know it's not a pattern for the years. Is it?
Once you have this data entered, we can actually use your calculator to calculate what we call a line of best fit. Okay. So you can calculate from this data a linear equation that will kind of split the data in half.
Okay.
We still entering?
I got 2 more.
Okay. Once you finish, we're gonna hit stat, and I want you to go over to calculate.
Hold up.
So stat, calculate, and you want choice number 4, a linear regression,
Where's that?
okay? It's underneath delete, right by your arrows.
Is it
Oh,
your A?
okay.
Standing plus what?
Stat, go over to calculate, and you want choice number 4, linear regression,
Press enter.
okay? Mine looks a little bit different, okay? When you press enter, you should get this.
I got AX plus B. I got the first one. That's it.
Y equals AX plus B, and then they should tell you A is 0.10 and B is negative 198.97. Remember that 8 rounds that 6 to a 7.
I did so.
I
I
got
got
some.
Look, I messed
It
up.
won't let her do it, but I got mine.
Bro, I did it wrong.
I messed up, so I have to redo all that.
She got it. Yeah, but it doesn't have it.
Well, mine said that.
Y'all ain't so loud, but it's so loud.
There's the way.
So your problem is put your years down to D instead of going all the way down to 19.
You don't really care what you
That's, and then
Mine didn't put 0.0.
Hey, that's your Instagram.
you need to finish putting an ease into here. You need to finish putting ease. You'll like it.
Maya Hill.
Maya.
No!
I'm on Hill.
And then they name.
That's gonna be my Instagram.
My name is Ron. My name is Ron.
The 2 on this.
You know,
I'm gonna put.
There's nothing wrong with it. You just didn't hit enter after you picked linear regression. You had to enter to your A and B values.
You won't let me delete it.
I'm a Chinese baby over here.
Okay, so that means, okay, if we need to address some calculator issues in a little bit, I can. Okay, this means your line of best fit is y equals 0.10x, whoops, not plus. It's going to be minus 198.97. Okay. They want to know then, what does my slope mean? What is 0.10? What's that representing?
minimum wage. Yes. No.
It's not your minimum wage. It's something for something. Remember, your slope is how it moves. What does 0.10 represent?
Your
First off, is it positive or negative?
positive
Positive, so that means we're increasing. What is increasing?
wage.
The minimum wage per year. Okay, so every year, on average, the minimum wage increases 10 cents.
Is it a floor away or is it just me?
So, here it goes.
Come right here. Oh. Well, it's not my cup, so. I don't know. Oh, maybe. Maybe.
Okay. It says sketch the residual plot. You just told me that my slope is increasing, correct? Okay. So your residual plot's going to look something with a positive slope. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you know that your slope's positive, so your graph should sure as heck be going to the right and up. Don't make it look negative. Don't make it look like no correlation.
There you go.
Okay? You can actually get the perfect picture on your graph. Okay? So your calculator will actually give you a picture.
Wait, go back.
What did you
On the
talk
front
about?
of the church.
With that white fence? You weren't there?
Okay?
What you do?
They want to know, what is your correlation coefficient? That's your slope. Okay? So it's 0.10. What's this tell you about the data? What does 0.10 tell me? 10 cents every year, which means I'm increasing.
She said, can't say it.
That chicken was
Okay. Question.
You got a one in this for it. You know, you got a one for it. It's like, this is like your mom's.
All right. So questions how to plug in anything on the calculator with stat, or how to get the linear regression from the calculator. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna see it on your benchmark on Monday.
See what? See what?
This
I don't know how to do
Linear
this.
It's gonna be, we gonna have a calculator with it?
yes.
Miss,
I've never been here.
Okay. All right. I need you to find this page.
We gonna be cutting these out?
No. Well, yeah, you can.
You got the.
Okay. On top of this page. You got two different pages. The other page, sunshine. Sunshine. There you go. Okay. So flip it so it looks like this. Okay. Take your other whole sheet and find the side that says parallel lines and put it on top just like this.
Wait, what?
You have two whole sheets. One that talks about perpendicular, one that talks about parallel. I want you to put them on top of each other just like this.
Perpendicular on top.
No. Parallel lines goes on top.
Yeah, that's fine. I got it like that.
She just said it wrong.
Right.
Okay, so the page that says parallel lines, I need you to fold it over.
Oh, this thing, I remember this.
So slopes on top.
What?
Oh my God, guys, it's really not that difficult.
Oh.
Can you show it all the way back again?
No.
Hold up.
So it's like this,
When you finish it. Okay. So that sheet that had parallel lines, you're taking that top part and folding it down
Like this.
so you can see slope and parallel lines. And then the last thing you need to do is take that second page and fold it down over top of slope. Wow, these are really not aligned, are they? Wow, that's off big time.
Yours may be.
Honey, yours is too.
I bet you have to picture.
Because Parallel is on the back. Oops. Oh well, as long as we can see the. Okay,
One slide.
listen.
I am.
I don't want to help somebody that wants to sit there and talk while I'm giving instructions, so then he can't understand what we're doing because he won't stop talking while I'm giving instructions. You were. Okay. We are going to staple this, trim this up, and then I'm going to show you how to glue everything in. Okay. We are not going to have time to do this today. So tomorrow, we are going to have to come in and buckle down because we've got to finish this that we didn't get done and go over everything. Okay. I need one person from Xavier's group and one person from Rashawn's group to grab one of the staplers. Okay, we're gonna pass one stapler across the back, one across the front groups. All you're going to do is you are going to take your stapler as close to the top as you can get them. Okay, as close to the top as you can get them. I need you to put a staple in the top left and put a staple in the top right, but don't go past that box. Okay?
You went past on the other side.
Pay attention.
You went past on the other side.
That's okay. I'm still trying to figure out why there aren't eyes up here. Okay. This right hand staple, do not go past that box because then I want you to take your scissors and you're going to have to trim this right hand side so it's going to fit in your notebook. Okay. So you're going to have to trim it up. Okay. So go ahead and staple that and I'll start gluing in stuff in the notebook so you can see where it goes.
Get ready to Popeyes on. Check this out. It's like that. I had a whole argument about that. Because you
Okay, while you're waiting for a stapler, you could be gluing in page 52 and 53.
What is this?
So which one goes first? The positive? No.
Oh. What you said, Ken? Well, you see what goes there?
Wow, that even needs trim more. Dang.
What do you mean then? You cut this way? This?
Yes, I trimmed them both. That way they could go sideways like this.
But mine takes slanted. I don't like it.
Note to next year, shrink down perpendicular parallel lines. Because it's way too big. Okay, there's 54 and 55.